of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Model Club TV, episode 109. As always, my magical co-host, Scott Johansson. I'm Jason Walker.
I'm lovely.
Yes, he's also lovely, everyone. How are you today, Scott? We have no guests this episode, everyone. This is kind of
we don't have a lot this episode.
Yeah, we are in the January doldrums of the garage kit hobby where there's not a lot going on. Some little things happened. One big thing kind of happened. We'll talk about that right off the bat. But there's just, I think people are kind of hunkered down. Weather, getting ready for planning for Wonderfest is starting, I think. And I think that's where we are. So, man.
I'm eating ice.
Why are you eating ice?
I like eating ice.
Okay. We're off to an amazing start. Scott and his ice chewing.
This is going to be a big episode here.
109. Hey, we got it done. It's in the books. Well, almost. We'll get there. How are you, sir? What's new? What's going on?
Nothing new.
Nothing?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing at all.
What would be new?
I don't know. I'm just saying there's nothing
well,
in 2
you're
weeks.
grilling me like
you got 2 weeks and nothing, and you've done nothing in 2 weeks since the last episode.
I finally sent out the stuff from the live show.
So I want to say thank you to everyone who has, had to wait for Scott, and your patience has hopefully been greatly rewarded with something in the mail. I just got a message from one of those people. I just forwarded it to you while I was waiting. They got their Dracula bust in the mail.
Yeah, they're not going to be thanking you once they start to try to build it.
I kind of said that in my response. I said, fantastic, but get ready. For those of you who don't know, the wicked Dracula bust where he's kind of biting the chick in the neck was over at Scott's the other day. That is one puzzle of a garage kit to kind of piece together.
But didn't you say they updated it or something? So maybe it's not now.
They might have, but that one is not fun to put together. So I would suggest a hairdryer to soften it up while you're doing it together, putting it together. And I would
just a Dremel tool.
Yes, and some Dremling maybe, and patience, and a swear jar. That's what I would be. But I think all my stuff everything is gone except our Canadian friend. I have 2 things to send to still, which I think mail has opened up. And I just finished that one of the people that wanted a Rocketeer. So I just finished printing the Rocketeer. It's sitting there. And I'm going to get that together here soon. So Rocketeers are 150 1/6 scale because the base is kind of big and there's a lot to it. So if you're interested, let me know. Anyway, what's new? Anything? We good? See any movies?
Ask the same question again.
See any movies? Anything fun? Nothing?
No.
Oh, God. You make this so easy sometimes. Just
what do you want me to?
I don't know. Something to jump off of. Something to talk about. Nothing.
Yeah. If I got to spend one more Discord with Clark, I'm going to jump off of something because Jesus, what a dullard. Okay.
Hey, I've been on Discord 2 weeks in a row. I'm impressed with myself.
Oh, you mean the Discord you started and you set the night?
Yeah, well, I didn't set it could be any night. I don't have to be there. Again, if anyone is interested, there will be a link to the Discord down below. We do sometimes, there's always somebody on Saturday night. I have a lot going on in my life.
You have a life.
Yeah, I do. And it's hard to get there on Saturdays. So, but link will be down below if you want to join us for Saturday hangouts.
That's right. And if Paul's on, get some earplugs.
Yes. He talks very loud.
Or he talks very into his mic. So, hey, at least you can understand him.
Yeah, that's true. Unlike me.
Well, I'm sorry. You can hear him. We don't always understand him. But we can hear him.
Very true. Last time we had our episode was talking about going to see X-Cops. And I went, but I want to do a little shout out to one of the opening bands. And if this band ever comes through your town, anyone, I highly suggest going to see them. It was one of the most fun shows I've been to in a very long time. So if the band Belushi Speedball comes to your town, please go see them. They were fantastic. I mean, first of all, they have the best name of a band in a very, very long time. Second, they were
What
awesome.
makes them fantastic?
So they were, you won't know
because
any of
whatever you listen to is barely music anyway. So
That's not true. So you won't
kill your mother, kill your mother, kill your father shit. Okay.
No. It was more funny songs than anything, but they were done. They're an old school style. And this is for people my age, not you.
Here we go.
A kind of hardcore punk, speed metal, kind of thrash metal, mostly thrash metal, I would say. Kind of like Anthrax, MOD, kind of in that vein of things. And they were awesome.
Kill your mother, kill your father, kill your mother.
No, it's none of that. They had a song called, it was a Warhammer 40K song. And it was called, instead of Rick and Morty, it was Rick and Mortarion. And for those of you who play Warhammer, you know who Mortarion is. And Scott, do you know who Mortarion is? No. He is the...
No, wait, first ask me if I care who Mortarion is.
He is the Primarch of the Death Guard. Yes. Leader of the Death Guard, worshippers of Nurgle.
Oh, yeah, I
that
should
guy.
know.
Yeah. See? So anyway, they had that song. They had some other ones that were fantastic. But, and where I saw them was Reggie's, which is kind of a small venue. And they pull up to the front of the stage and start taking out all these Home Depot moving boxes and putting them together and stacking them. And I'm like, what's going on? As soon as the show starts, they throw these boxes into the crowd and then begin to take out Costco packages of toilet paper and reams of regular paper and just start throwing crap into the crowd.
And why is that good?
Because here's why. So they also did, and I don't want to ruin it in case anyone ever goes. So there's all this trash and toilet. It looks like, 8th grade TP in someone's house. There were people biting holes in the Home Depot boxes and wearing them on their heads so they had eye holes as they're running around the mosh pit. Classic. They had a part where they said, all right, everybody grab trash and throw it in the air. It was awesome. But they got everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome. They had a tribute to Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they said, all right, everybody gather around. We're going to play Nightcrawlers. And if you know what Nightcrawlers is, my Always Sunny fans, it's when Charlie and Frank roll on each other in the bed. They got everybody in the audience, not me and the old people in back, we kind of just watched. They got everybody in the audience to lay down and then just play steamroller on everybody, basically. And the guy jumped off stage and started rolling. Belushi Speedball, everyone. Fantastic.
Yeah,
band.
that sounds like a blast.
It was the most fun I've had watching a show ever. It was awesome. So Belushi Speedball.
I wish I had garbage here. I could just throw it up in the air.
And then the cool thing was,
wasn't that awesome?
Well, at the end, he goes, hey, our fans clean up after themselves. If we want to play Reggie's again, he whipped out a big box of garbage bags, threw garbage bags in the audience, and everyone cleaned up. It was a good time.
What about the environmental impact? The waste of cardboard and paper.
Who cares? Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, that's it. Typical.
Who cares?
Typical environment.
Burn it. Throw it in the alley. Let the bums use it for heat.
I forgot. Your car burns like 8 gallons of oil a week too. So
you're not lying. All right. Model kit related. Anything cool? What? Are you joking?
No.
Okay. All right. We're gonna start with a letter from. We're gonna still doing emails at the end today, but we have a letter. I want to read this, and it is kind of a public service announcement, if anything. So bear with me as we get. So there is a huge, and I hope this doesn't ding us in any way, because it might, because of some of the words I have to say. But we have a listener who's been going through some stuff here this past week, and I want to read an anonymous letter, and there's some good information here. Jason and Scott, please keep this email anonymous, and please excuse the misspellings and punctuation, as this is still hard for me to grasp. A week ago, my son, who is a wonderful child, never got into any trouble whatsoever or caused any trouble whatsoever, secretly took oxy. I'm going to leave the rest of that word just for YouTube for a second. That he did not know was laced with fentanyl. Told his wife he was going outside to change a flat tire on his pickup truck. After a couple minutes, she went out to check on him and found him laying in the driveway, not breathing and no heartbeat. So she called 911 and proceeded to do CPR on him. Heard directions from the 911 operator until first responders arrived, which then took over. They were able to bring him back to us. A day after, he finally talked to us and told us he was addicted to oxy for a couple years and knew he was addicted and tried to stop, but every time he tried, he couldn't, and it would make him sick, and he'd feel like he had the flu, and the craving was so bad for another pill. He told us he was afraid to talk to us and ask us for help. All modelers and non-modelers who have kids, while you're building kits with them or showing them what you build, please, I beg you, have a little conversation with them and assure them that no matter what, how bad things get, you will still love them and they can tell you anything, and I mean anything. Writing this is making me cry. Even if you don't have kids, you are the one that has some kind of addiction. Please do not be afraid to go find or ask for help. So, respecting this person's wishes, we're not going to say who this is, but that's a big deal. And our hearts go out to your entire family for what you're going through and your son and all of that. So I just want to kind of piggyback off of what he's saying. Addiction's no joke. And seriously, if you need help, reach out to anyone. Reach out to us. Reach out to whoever. And like, I'm trying to avoid the censors here, but fentanyl is a mess. And I even tell my students at work, shouldn't even pick up money on the ground anymore. You don't know where that money's been. If it accidentally has been in contact with fentanyl, you could overdose and die. Simple as that. One drop.
But you'll eat out of the garbage still.
It's my garbage. I know what's in there.
Whatever.
And there ain't none of that in there. So please, everyone, be very, very careful. And especially, you don't know if you're taking drugs off the street, you do not know where some of that stuff is from and where it's been stored or shipped with. And a lot of times there's cross-contamination. Sometimes it's cross-contamination that was not intended to be put or laced in there. And you don't know. And my heart goes out to you, man. And we love you. We love your family. And whatever you need, we're here for you. And everyone.
I'll piggyback on this too. Yeah. If you're someone out there listening and you do have an issue and you got kids around the house, okay, and like you just said, all that kid's got to do is touch that and go to his mouth or something, and bam, okay, it's
yeah,
So think of your pets. If you can't think of yourself, think of your pets, your loved ones, whatever, and
yeah. The other side of this is, and we're in a hobby full of loners who tend to have, and I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about myself, who tend to have, some of us have depression issues, some of us have addiction issues. All of us.
I know, I wish I could quit you.
I could quit you pretty quick. Just kidding. But I mean, your stack of models, you might like to think, is not an addiction problem, but we all have that kind of, I think, that in the back of our brain, and it could easily transfer into medication on accident, and then you don't know like where it ends up. So just everyone be very careful. And it's a different world than when we were kids, when you were a kid, when I was a kid. Hang in there.
You're still a kid, Mr. Mosh Pit.
That's true. But I didn't go in the mosh pit. I stayed back. I stay back now. Old punks never die. They just stand in the back.
I will say that my last 2 operations, I was given some of those to take home.
Yeah.
And the doctors only give you like 5 days worth. Okay. And I didn't even have it filled the second operation because I didn't feel I needed it. First operation, when I was in the hospital, I was in a lot of pain. And they were giving me morphine, and morphine wasn't touching the pain. Okay. Well, what I've discovered is some people, morphine don't work.
Yeah.
And apparently I'm one of them. So, by the way, anyway,
Yeah, we're getting this episode's done.
but anyway, so they gave me those, and they did help with pain.
Yeah.
And I went home, and I wasn't in a lot of pain. I was in pain, but I wasn't in so much pain that I felt I needed relief that way. But I couldn't get comfortable to sleep. So the first 2 nights I took them at night because it knocked me out. Okay. And after that, it was like, no, I don't want these anymore. You know, I didn't want to take a chance. Now, I don't have what I'd call an addictive personality. You clearly do.
Yes.
Okay, but
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I don't. But I mean, that's not to say that anyone can't get addicted to something.
Oh, yep.
Okay. But what I'm saying is I don't have and have never had the craving. Those that know me know I don't drink. I don't do drugs for no reason other than I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And
well, have you tried it?
I've tried. Yeah, I've been drunk a few times. I've never been blackout drunk, though. I've never been hangover drunk. I've never been puking in a cab drunk. Okay. I've been shit my pants sober, but I've never been puking the cab drunk.
I've never pooped my pants from drinking.
It's coming.
From drinking, anyway, I said. From
drinking. Oh, okay. So, but still, it just, it's like, no, I don't need that.
Yeah, even when I had my tooth pulled,
when
I had my tooth pulled and the implant put in, they gave me Tylenol 3s with coat. I'm like, I didn't touch them. I put them in my apocalypse pack for when things go really bad. I could use them to buy things at the end of the world. Like, hey, but I'm trying to work around the way YouTube works. Just everyone be very careful out there. And again, talk to your kids, talk to your family member. It's not just even kids too. It's adults that hide this stuff. I've known people that were hiding addiction for a very long time, and they're not here anymore. So it's tough. So, and again, you can't blame yourself because those people are still going to always hide it, and not knowing, you can't blame yourself if you don't know, because addicts tend to hide things really well, and it's tough. It's really, really hard. So we'll leave it at that. Well, public service announcement here in the beginning. Again, that person, hang in there. Your whole family, you're in we're thinking about you. So, you ready? Want to move on?
Let's move on.
Let's move on to something super exciting. Scott, look, this kind of goes into a model in a movie. But look what came in the mail, Scott. Frankie Frico! And I'm going to be watching this in a couple days. This is the next directorial outing from the director of Psycho Goreman. I can't wait to watch this. You want to come over and watch it with me? You suck. All right.
Why do I suck?
I invite you over, and you always.
I've got cancer. My time on this earth is limited. Okay,
you should spend it having fun.
I'm a 61-year-old fat guy, and you want me to fucking waste 2 hours of my life?
Come over and watch Frankie Frico. You will laugh. You will have a good time.
I won't. I'll sit there and go, I can't believe.
I'll even give you a foot massage while we're watching. How about that?
Well, that's the same ballpark as something else.
And then on top of this, Scott, I know I asked you. I'm going to ask you again so that Francis can see you turn this down. So Francis sent back Deadstream, and he wanted me to give it to Spike, and Spike said no way. Scott, would you and Joanne be willing to watch Deadstream?
That would be a no.
Oh my God. Why?
What's it about?
It is about this, what we're doing. A YouTube show.
Is it a scary movie? Is it a thriller?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny, scary movie.
Yeah, see now.
Along the lines of like Evil Dead, kind of not as scary.
Yeah, see, Evil Dead.
No, he goes in a haunted house. There's a haunted house girl, and some weird ghosts. That's it.
No. I was gonna say Evil Dead is more piece of shit fucking movies.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, no. All right. There's funny stuff in here, though.
Here come the comments, by the way. If this was live right now, could you imagine it would be zipping up on the screen right now?
Hey, thank you everyone for joining us in the live stream again over the holidays. That was pretty fun. And I really like doing the live show. So we want to do more of that.
Oh my God.
I'm going to drop this off. I'm going to have Joanne. How about I give it to Joanne? She'll watch it. Anyway.
Joanne will watch anything, but
true. All right, news and reviews.
Oh,
that was smooth. That was really smooth. Wait.
Oh, it gets 3 stars.
See, it's a good movie, man. I'm telling you.
3 stars is a good movie.
3 out of what? What is the 3 out of 4? Or 5?
5.
So yeah, all right, that's good.
Oh,
it's not out of 1.
I'm looking. Is Deadstream a good? I love AI. Is Deadstream a good movie? It's an impressive little indie horror movie that genre fans can certainly enjoy and appreciate. Oh God!
All right, you're getting it. You're gonna watch it.
I'm not watching it.
You're gonna come on a model a movie and give us a review. How about that?
Why would I want to? No, I don't care if you guys need ratings. I'm not coming on that mess. Okay. Unless you watch a decent movie that I've recommended, and then maybe I'll come on.
Oh, okay. Because again, all right.
My way or the highway, pal.
All right. Whatever. The first bit of news is something we've all been waiting for, which is issue. What number was this? Do they still do numbers? I don't even know.
I believe it was issue.
Well, Amazing Figure Modeler came out.
Fiddler 78.
Issue number 78 of Amazing Figure Modeler came out. Get your digital copies over at amazingfiguremodeler.com. I'm at that. We're late.
Yeah,
I know. No
wonder they had to go digital.
I just started piecing through it, and there's some cool stuff in there. So congratulations to Terry and David and everyone who is writing for them. I did ask Terry today. We had for a last minute if he wanted to come on. He was too busy. We'll get to him. We'll get him.
Cool for school. That's all right.
But there's some great stuff in there. I just want to talk.
Find Fred DeRuvo. He'll come on.
Ooh, maybe. For people wondering why it's so late, I just want to reiterate: the writers are volunteering their time, and to kind of like, Terry is at the mercy of people who are now writing for him, and it's hard to kind of get everybody. You're rounding up a bunch of modelers, It's tough. So it's out. It's awesome. And we will hope there's a next issue.
I believe it's 110 pages.
Yeah, there's a lot in there. Like I said, I just started. And again, let me show you on here. Can people see this? I didn't want Terry and David getting mad at me. That's why I didn't do like a stream of the. Hold on. Let me pull this up real fast. And then I'll go to us.
How often have you dropped that thing?
Not very.
But you have.
So it is 126 pages total. And so for those of you who don't have it on an app or on a tablet, I love doing it like this. It works so well.
Go another one. Oh, right there. What's that?
This?
No, one more. Go down. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. So here's the other cool thing. You can zoom in, something you can't do with the magazine. And I know people love their paper magazines.
Look at that Jerry Frade paint job.
Yeah, look at that. Rawr. So that's the cool thing I think about the PDFs is you can zoom in and you can take it with you anywhere and not worried about wrecking it or getting it folded or messed up. This, I really like this Forgotten Prisoner build-up by John Eubank. This is really, really nice. But check it out. AFM's out, everybody. And back to where we were. Any comments, Scott?
No, I just I noticed our ad's a little farther up than the last page where we were relegated for so long. So
that's good.
Our status must be going up.
Doubtful.
Well, it's it's wishful thinking.
All right. So web window, back to we go. And first up, kit-wise, is something pretty cool. Now, I have not seen this movie yet, and when he sent this in the other day, it reminded me I had not seen this movie yet. Hello again, Model Club TV. This is from Jerry Frade and Just Paint It.
We just mentioned him.
Some people may know that I'm a huge Alien fan. After watching the new movie, I found myself liking it more every time. Yeah, some parts are a little silly or so, but even then, I really enjoyed it more than some of the more recent films from the franchise. So with that, I would like to introduce to you the next Just Paint It kit. N-D-255, a Weyland Yutani synthetic. Sculpted by Vardhan Gupta and engineered by New York 3D, NY3D Creations, New York 3D. The kit represents a popular scene in the movie and movie trailers. So no spoilers here. The kit will be available in 1/6 scale, 10 pieces total, including the face hugger. Stay tuned to my channel and my Facebook page for a price and release date. P.S. More Warrior figures also in the pipe. So we got some cool stuff here. And I think, first of all, I like the base. It's from like that. Everyone who's seen Alien or Aliens knows that floor. And I think that base is pretty cool. And here you have the full figure with a face hugger of the synthetic. This is the scene in the movie that the figure is coming from. But everything I've heard about this movie is that this character is the standout of the whole movie. And I'm going to probably watch it this week now. Brian, let's watch Alien, Romulus. I haven't. So Jerry's got another winner on his hands, I think. So.
Oh, that's not a Star Trek crossover then?
No. That would be Romulus. Is Romulus the planet?
Yes.
Okay. No, it's not. Although that'd be kind of cool to see an alien hunting down Romulans. Who would win, Scott?
I don't know. It would depend.
Oh man. So very cool, Jerry. Awesome. All right, up next we have Elsa Lanchester as Mary Shelley from Bride of Frankenstein. It is a quarter scale sculpture by Jeff Yeager. Paul Gill is doing the casting. He's doing 10 castings at a time. So what's the guy's name?
Keith Wells.
Paul Gill is doing the casting for Keith Wells. He is doing 10 castings at a time, and he will be starting a list. Price is $80 plus shipping and payment, PayPal, friends, and family. So head on over. I think if you aren't friends with Keith Wells on anything, it's over on the Jaeger Army page. Head on over there. Pretty cool piece. Surprised no one's done this before. What do you think?
I am too. He's up to 11, by the way, so far. I am too. What I'm really shocked at, and again, is Jaeger to me just kind of nailed this sculpt. Okay. I mean, he just really, this is, again, something no one's ever done. And it shows her in just a totally different, the only place most people have seen her is in Bride of Frankenstein. She's been in some other movies.
Yeah, right. And I think the next one should be from Willard, where he plays the mom, the mother, where she's 900 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
And in a muumuu the whole time.
But, or Katie Nana from Mary Poppins.
There you go.
But anyway, now what you may or may not know is Jeff kind of made this base to resemble Mary Shelley's grave. And the original idea was to have Mary Shelley and her dates of birth and death.
Gotcha.
And Jeff needed nameplates made. Believe it or not, I made the plates. So I made them the way Jeff wanted, because he kind of wanted to match the writing that was on the Mary Shelley headstone. So there was originally Mary Shelley and the dates. And I was talking to Paul about it, and I said, I don't know if I would do it that way. I would maybe have Elsa Lanchester as Mary Shelley, or Elsa Lanchester and her dates. So when I did the plates, I sent Paul all of them and said, talk to Keith, and whichever one he wants, go ahead and use it. So I guess this is what they chose.
Very cool. Look at, again, the idea guy.
Yeah.
But no, it's a beautiful piece.
But yeah, it is. And the detail Jeff gets in some of this stuff is, just the lace and the
necklace too.
Clothing detail and the necklace.
The piping on that is all really nice.
Yeah, it's like, where the hell does he get that stuff? And again, this, I will also go to, this goes to clay sculpture is still really good,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's it's a really good piece. I'm excited. I'll be getting one. And it's a good piece.
And we also have from Paul Gill. I think this is a Paul Gill piece because no one sent us things again.
Oh, I believe this is
or is it Jaeger Army, or is it?
I believe this is a Jeff Yeager piece.
Jeff Yeager thing? All right. The reptile molds are completed. This is a test casting I'm going to paint for Wonderfest. These will start shipping, like I said, post late January into February. I'm still catching up with Curse of the Werewolf, Mark of the Vampire, Bitten, and Barnabas. The good part is a lot of those have shipped. Today I'm shipping a couple of Curse of the Werewolf and a marked kit. I need a vacation. Wonderfest is not a vacation. So that's all Paul Gill talking. So Reptile's out. I don't know if we showed it before. I couldn't remember, so I wanted to get in here. Contact Paul Gill. He'll point you in the right direction as to where to get this.
Yeah, if it was Jeff or him, but either way, if you get a hold of Paul, he'll get you. He'll get you taken care of.
So that's a really. Then we have from Nostalgic Resin Productions. We have Poster Girl test print, hot off the printer. I just gave this a quick rinse, so she's still a bit wet in spots. Size is 4 1/4 inches tall with a 4-inch by 9-inch base. This is going to be printed solid, so it's a nice chunk of resin. We're accepting pre-orders now. Price will be $85, shipped to the lower 48. Please PM me to get on list. So head on over to Nostalgic Resin. I think they did change something here in a second. She is now detachable from the base in the final part breakdown, so they can do different sizes. So I'm going to go through some of these pictures. This was the original, and then now she does come off the blanket. So this is what you'll be.
To get her on that blanket. I did get her on that blanket a lot.
Oh boy. So we have that. And then also from Nostalgic Resin, this is a sneak peek. The Servant is in progress. Still some more work to clean up on the base. This will come with a Dracula nameplate. ETA possibly March. Do we have this coming? Do we have that coming? And then we also have.
Well, he's a busy boy.
Yeah. We also have this. This is runner number 6. And for those of you who don't know, I can't say the words because David doesn't. We don't want anyone getting busted on things. So it's a movie from the 70s about running from stuff.
Oh, Wolverine's Run. Yes.
Yes. Yes, that's it. Big news. We are working on a large bust of runner number 6. We are still runner 6. We are still working on the base, but the bust measures about 7.5 inches tall. We hope have this ready by mid-January. Price to be determined. So he's working on this too. There's the size.
I have to say, I've seen the pictures. This one actually looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
The likeness is really nice. So,
and you can paint that blouse see-through just like the movie. Those of you who know, you know deep down. We have those. All right, next up from HG Designs is pleased to say that we will be the exclusive dealer for these wonderful Justice League busts of Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and The Flash. These are beautifully designed by Chris Wooten. This is a change. I'm used to seeing monsters that Chris has been doing and stuff. These are pretty cool. Right now, we don't have any further information, but we will be sharing that as soon as it's available. We would love to know what you think, what you all think, and there is an interest. We would love to know what you think. Nope. We would love to know what you all think and if there is an interest. So if you are interested, head on over to HG Designs Facebook page, drop them a note, let them know you are interested because these are pretty cool. Scott, what do you think? Because this is more up your alley than mine for sure.
I like the Flash and the Green Lantern a lot.
Is that a Jim Lee Batman? Is that kind of?
No, I don't think
Where would
so.
That one kind of fall?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think that as being the more blue and gray Batman than
the only thing I'm going to tell you. The only thing that bugs me about these. Okay.
Oh, here we go, Chris. Get your.
All right, Chris, get ready. No, and it's not Chris's fault. Well, I mean, it is, but who knows? So these are more realistic versions of the character. Okay, which is fine. But it's got the Super Friends like Justice League base. And I would so if it had that base, I'd like to see that Filmation Super Friends look to go with that base. So I don't know that I'm in love with that base on all of these.
Yeah,
and I'm just superhero nitpicking. Okay, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with the base. But
that you want the cartoon base to go with the realistic figures?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I.
You would have to have the cartoony figures to go with the cartoon.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you want
that's why the base bugs me. Okay. That's why the base bugs me.
Okay.
No, sorry, Joe.
They're really, really nice though.
But it's not that they're bad. Don't get me wrong. It's
just Scott being superhero comic book.
Me being superhero nerd boy. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I'm going to put out individually. Here's the pieces. Mm-hmm. So here's the prints of them. Greenland. Yeah, they're all really, 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 really nicely done. There we go. All of them. All right. Joe also has coming 2 times in one episode. He also has a Farrah Fawcett. Can I say that?
Why not?
All right.
He also Farrah poster.
Yeah, Farrah poster kit coming. Let me say that again. He also has a Farrah kit coming, and I think him and Dave worked something out. They both had it in the Pipeworks. Nope. They both had it in the works coming down the pipe, and I don't like how I said that. They both had it in the works, and they kind of worked out a deal where they would just kind of both do it and just not worry about it. So that's kind of nice to see. So this one is not on a blanket, I'm assuming, because it looks like a stool or something.
The blanket's behind her. Yeah, the blanket's behind her. So
that's a sneak peek on that. So HG Designs, everyone, check them out and let them know what you think. I saw this and I thought this was fantastic, and I think I'm going to be ordering this. And this is from Cthulhu Gizzard, our friend Mike Swistek. This is my new Demogorgon resin bust relief available on my Etsy store, cthulhugizzard.etsy.com, as an unpainted resin casting inspired by one of my favorite writers, Brian Lumley's book, Demogorgon. Here's a small excerpt. Foul, stinking black pseudopods of tarry, throbbing matter pushed up from the gaps at the side of the tablet from the reeking blackness beneath the slab. Hell's own eyes burned red as hot coals. Then it rose from the darkness. It was a monster composed of men, a thing of black slime caught in its own metamorphosis, an abomination that wore the faces of all the souls sacrificed to it. Demogorgon. Molding this thing up today and it should be available as a resin casting later on tonight. It's also a tribute to my brother Todd Carlin, so I added a giant thumbprint on top of its head in honor of Todd's Thumbprint Studios, and a tribute to my favorite writer, Brian Lumley, who passed away in 2024. And then we'll have a link down there to his Etsy store. He's doing some cool stuff lately, but I thought this was like a really nice standout piece from Mike, and it's fantastic. Check them out. Scott, you gonna be doing a demo Gorgon?
No, but it's cool.
Yeah, that's all I got.
It would be one of those things to sit there and paint for a couple hours and probably look really cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you did some contrast paints, some little like just some washes and things. Be really, really nice. All right. From Well Winner, Scott, give us our Well update.
Well, Winter the Mask.
This was over on his Patreon.
Yes. This is the first Patreon he's done where I was not a fan of either piece he did.
Really?
Not that I'm not a fan of the piece. I'm just not a fan of the subject
character.
matter.
Right.
But that being said, it looks like the cartoon, obviously, because it's what this kid does.
Here's the part breakdown, as always. Cool piece. Well done. It's stellar for what it is. It's awesome. We have that, and then we have from Natty Ramos.
This is the last of the Allison and series. Cheshire Cat.
Cool.
And this was part of her Patreon.
I like that it's sitting on the tail.
I wasn't sure if I like that because I always see him kind of upside down or curled up. But so it's a pose you don't always see. So
right, exactly.
Cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
So
are the stripes? The stripes are raised, so it would be easy.
You know, I have it, but I didn't look at it.
Just looking at the render, you can see they are. So, yeah, nice. It's really cool. Natty does some good stuff. And then just more Patreon roundup. We have Kutan. This is a 2-month project here. So the first thing that came up, eventually you're going to get all the chicks to go with this Conan, but this month Conan came out. King Conan is there. And then next month he'll have the girls that go around the throne. So pretty
stripes,
nice.
By the way, the stripes are
raised
slightly, yes.
So if you're into Conan and you love this piece, head on over to Kutan on Patreon or on CG Trader or Cults, I think, and pick them up.
I notice you've never said to me, have you ever seen Conan?
Have you ever seen Conan?
Yes, unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately? What?
Dude, not that he can speak any English now, but at that point, just before Schwarzenegger could hardly speak English, okay? So it was like listening to you read a letter, okay?
Fair.
All right?
But
that being said, I know this is going to blow your mind, because I bet you haven't. I read all the original Conan books.
I did not.
Okay. And I also read the first 100 issues of the comic book. And so this movie was a little disappointing. He looked the part.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
No, I could totally see, because he does not match the comic look at all. Like,
yeah.
It's not that. Like, it doesn't. And I'd love to see that done right. But if you're a fan of the movie, this is right there. This is pretty good.
All right. What's this other Kutan piece?
And then Kutan, he's like, there's a lot of fantasy stuff this month with him, the last couple months. Just another really cool original piece. I think it might be based off of some artwork, but just
like Taylor Swift.
It does a little bit. Her butt's not flat enough, though. So,
whore.
What?
Nothing.
Ouch. Okay. Wow. And then we're doing an Ina the Dyklick. She did Evil Dead and Ash, I think. I don't think I showed this yet, but this is what came out last month. So I have this. I do have these. I'll probably have a couple of these at Wonderfest. I haven't. Maybe make.
And so you're a fan. How is the likeness here?
Likeness is pretty good. The render made it not look as good, but I think the sculpt is dead on. It's pretty close. So, and even Henrietta down there looks pretty good too. So nice. I like it. Simple, not crazy, not over the top. I think there's 3 different head options like that come with it. So nice. And that's it. That's all for news and reviews. No one really sent us anything, so if you have something to send in next time, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see what you got going on.
Jerry Frade was talking about this stuff. It's a UV light curing putty.
Okay.
It's expensive. It's like a little tin. It's $24. And it's almost like a translucent, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I guess if you take that and use your little torchlight, which I think we've talked about before, it's a nice, good working putty. He likes it. So I figured I'll get some and try it. And then if you spend $1 more, you can get this, which is like a syringe of a little different texture putty, but by the same company.
Cool. What's the company?
Here, I'll put it up here. Fun Crickle.
Okay.
Fun Crickle?
Because I bought the stuff from Frozen, I think. The putty and the paste to try. Or no, the putty and the clay. The UV clay to try.
Okay.
It
So
just
this is
came
probably
last
more like a paste.
Yeah.
I've seen some video of that. It's, yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, I bought it. Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows where I'll use it.
So, we got no guest, no topic. We're keeping this short this episode. Any topics you want to cover, Scott? Anything Garage Kit related?
Wonderfest is coming.
Yes. So, what do you think about Wonderfest? I was
As far
actually
as
thinking of
what?
bringing this.
I know this sounds bad. I shouldn't say it because I'll sound like you. I'm getting less and less enthused about going to Wonderfest every year.
It's funny. We kind of both have this. I was thinking I don't want to call it hobby burnout, but I don't know if it's just the time of the year, but I was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm just kind of, so I need a little pick me up. But why are you saying that?
Just what else do I need? I'm 61 years old. I have more than I will ever build in my lifetime. I have model kits of just about any subject matter I could think of that I'd want. So what's left for me?
Hanging out with friends.
There you go.
It's the only reason to go now. It really is. Because I was thinking the same thing. And let me, I wonder if this will work. It works. So right now on screen, I have the Wonderfest website and the 2025 guest. And I'm not here to complain. I'm not, whatever. Robin Curtis, actress, Star Trek 3, 4, Next Generation, Unified, Babylon 5. Sean House, art department, special visual effects, Star Wars. John Elves. How do you say his last name? Elves?
Oh, I don't know. I saw it as Eve, so it shows you how close I look at it.
Production designer on Jaws, Jaws 2, Close Encounters, Third Kind, Escape from New York. Mike Cusinelli, sculptor for Hasbro, Kenner, Mattel, Playmates, Solar Wind, Tweeterhead. Bowen Designs, Danger Island models. So we have Mike coming back for the first time in a while. We have Greg Poulon, author Willis O'Brien, Lost Worlds, Giant Apes, Dinosaurs. Rick Sternbach, designer, Star Trek, TMP, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. And then guests will be signing autographs. Just said that. Okay. So nothing there. We have the Amazing Model Contest, Must See Program, How To Demos, Iron Mother, Rondo Awards, Sunday Wrap Up Party. Sponsors, there's your sponsors. And yeah. So I don't know.
So of all those guests,
which is kind of what I wanted to talk about. Go ahead.
All right, so of all those guests, this is a model convention. Okay. So of all those guests, Mike Cusinelli is the only one that's got like model guest. Okay, that's started out in garage kits, blah blah blah. Okay. It was very popular.
Yes.
if you liked his stuff, SolarWind stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a mainstay in the early days for years, down at the end, in that middle aisle there by the raffle table.
Yep.
So, and he's a sculptor that moved on to bigger and better paying jobs, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
The other guests are all sci-fi related guests for the most part. Okay, or movie related, whatever. And it's just I've never gone for the guests, so I don't get upset about the guests one way or the other. I don't get jacked about the guests one way or another. But it's just it seems like you're catering to one half of that hobby.
Yes.
And granted, there's a lot of those people there, obviously, because if you go in the contest room, maybe we try to get Steve Iverson on to talk about this, because maybe he'd have a better take on this because he's more in touch with that side of things.
And
Okay.
And it goes, and again, I know you don't want to sound like me.
Okay.
But that show, I feel more and more like Wonderfest isn't for figure modelers as it progresses. It's the feeling I have. I'd love for someone to come on and alleviate those fears. And I don't know how to fix it. That's up to them. It's what they want.
I'd
it's their
almost
show.
rather see the gaming guys come in. Okay, because it's still figures.
Yeah.
Or the miniature guys.
Yeah.
Or even the military guys. Okay,
Yeah.
because it's still, there's beautiful stuff out there. And
I'm not trying to denigrate
not ragging the sci-fi guys.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi, but
good on them, because they bring it every year. They have taken the show over.
Mm-hmm.
And good on them. I mean, they didn't really have an outlet either. Other than, because IPMS is still mostly military, and they were probably shunned for their ships at those shows, just kind of like we were for our figures. So they didn't really have a home.
It's also, though, I hate to say it, it's our own fault. I mean, you see more and more of the same stuff.
Yes.
Okay. And less fresh original ideas. Now, it was nice to see was it last episode, the Memphis Belle, the pinup that Randy's going to be doing. That's really nice. Mark Havokin has his stuff that he does every year that's popular. So Jesse was making his line of stuff, but now, he's kind of phasing out traditional stuff. So and the 3D stuff you got, a lot of it, you're going to start to see a lot of guys with the same stuff because they're on Patreons and stuff like that. So they're printing the same stuff. They have the rights to print the same stuff. So I don't know.
I think we have to bring our A game in the contest. For those of you entering the contest. And I'm going to try my darndest to get something done for the contest this year. We need to take that contest back. Like, the figure guys need to really, and again, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or anything, but honestly, the work just has not been up to the level it used to be. And I've judged that show many times along with a lot of other people. And it has changed quite a bit in what you used to see and what you see now. And I think my pleading is, just because you can enter 20 model kits doesn't mean you should. Enter one amazing.
Are you listening, Jinxie? Jinxie, are you out there listening to this?
Enter one amazing thing. Like, spend the entire year making one thing. I want to be blown away when I walk in that room with cool stuff. And if you're entering 50 different busts, that's not going to do it. And then
no, and I don't know. You're not a bust fan, or are you a bust fan?
I like bust. And I almost think Like, I wish they wouldn't. Maybe this is what you're going to say. I wish they wouldn't include busts in the main categories. Like, there should be a bust
It should be
category.
a separate category. Yes, and that's what I was going to say. Bust should be a separate category, and I think the nice thing about that too is if they made it a separate category, they could almost maybe make some shelving,
Yeah.
like steps.
Yeah.
And they could fit a lot on one table.
Yeah.
Okay. But
yeah, if you did the back wall of just a wall of busts, like on a steps like you're talking about, that would look cool.
And it's
and I know we're Monday morning not Monday morning. We're pre-gaming.
Yeah, we're not
this.
running the show.
we're not running it. And they will never ask us to run it. But you know what? Maybe we could get
Georgia.
Yeah. Come back.
But it's and honestly, I don't think busts are going to be fairly judged next to figures.
Yeah. Even though technically you're not supposed to compare.
Yeah, but it's still going to happen.
It's still going to happen. He's still like, hey, it's just a bust. And I remember back in the day, there was no way. If you had a bust, you weren't getting a gold. Like, just how it was. Like, they were like, hey, that's a bust. It's not gold worthy because
now that being said,
there.
When you look at the latest IAMCO release, the Tower of London.
Yeah.
That's like half a figure. Okay. It's not just a bust.
Yeah.
It's half a figure. All right. And it's, and again, it's beautiful, but it's still a bust.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's now, can you paint it and get a gold? Yeah, you should be able to paint it and get a gold. Okay. But again, one thing about figures against busts is you can't customize or you can't change a bust too much.
Not really. And if you're going to do a bust, you better knock it out of the park.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you're doing a figure, you can do a lab base, you can do a graveyard base, you can do, there's a lot of different possibilities, which is why I think, again, separate categories.
Yeah.
Okay. I know there's special awards for best bust, but I'd like to see all the busts in one place. And then I'd like to see all the figures in one area. Okay. Even if they wanted to keep them in the same category, I would still rather see, and busts are hard to look at on those tables.
They are.
And that's why I suggested risers. That was the word I was looking for. That's why I was suggesting risers. Okay.
And you know what? We haven't talked about it lately, but we still had that idea for that special award we wanted to do.
Yeah. We gotta
get that squared away if we're gonna do it or not. But again, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings with this. Please don't take it that way. But
it's still a great show.
It still is. It absolutely
it's still the best show out there for us.
It's the only show.
Well, it is.
It is. Yeah. And I don't feel like it's for us anymore. And part of it's our fault. Part of it's my fault. I haven't painted anything, but I wasn't allowed to enter that contest for a long time.
Right. I also, I look at the hotel, the changes over the years, and I was looking just the other day at the hotel's website when the bar closes. Okay. And it's like, that's so crazy because that place used to be packed till 2 a.m.
Yeah. It's something that comes up every year.
And then along with that is with the new configuration, it's not that I hate it, but it's like there's no place to hang out there. I mean,
it's better than it was. The new one is better than
the old one. I don't know. You still had separate tables at the old one that were like, now you almost have these long tables and I don't know. And the lobby's not as much fun anymore.
And I get room parties, but for people with social anxiety and claustrophobia, they're not fun. They're not fun. When you're jammed in a room with 150 other dudes, it is just
watching a movie. And that's always my favorite too. Watching a movie. And I'm like, so you came however many miles to sit and watch a movie. I remember the first time I walked into one and they were all watching a movie and I looked at the person I was with and I go, really? I'm like, I'm out of here. Okay.
I don't know. I got to talk to Hodge. I really want to figure out a way, and he'll never listen to me. I know he won't, but I want to sponsor a weekend long build space where you can just bring your model, sit down and hang out and paint. That's what I want to do. And I would love to know. And if someone knows, George, if you know, if you're listening, how many kids actually go in that make and take it room? Like that demo room where you can, like, kids can build models and stuff. I don't know. Like, just give us a room. And let people hang out and paint and build models. That's what the show is about. It's about building models. People would bring their paints and sit there and paint and talk the whole time. Yes, you're not in the dealer room shopping, but at some point you're going to be. They do it at Adepticon. There's a table set up where they have lights set up. But the show sets up lights and little build stations for people to just hang out and paint all weekend, all night long, like all night long. How cool would it be if we just had one of those rooms where they do the classes with just tables set up, throw some plastic on the ground. I'll pay for plastic and just have everybody hang out in there and paint and drink. Like,
what a great combo.
I know.
By the end of the floor.
There's people like, you have your beer. Like, that's like, I want to see, like, if I have a legacy in this hobby, I want that to happen. Because it's the one thing I think Wonderfest is missing that would make it awesome. Because it would give you a giant room to hang out in. You don't even have to be painting. You could just be hanging in.
I can see your drunk ass dipping your paintbrush in beer.
I've done that. I've done it sober. What are you talking about? But if anyone has ideas, let's try and just, for the figure kit guys.
Well, and then the problem is,
I don't know. I feel like I'm Debbie Downer, and I'm not trying to be.
You get too many clicks in the suites, you know. I mean, hey, we had our own. Dave had a suite last year.
Yeah.
And we ended up there. I know the other guys, Sweet Life, they get a suite. There's all kinds of different suites, and then you don't get to see a lot of the people that you normally hang out with because they end up.
Everyone just vanishes to their room,
to their suites or their groups.
Yeah.
And it's.
And we've talked about it before. When there was the old hotel, like the old hotel with the pool, when people were casting out there by the pool, and painting and sanding and grinding on kits in there, like, that's what made it cool. That's what made it fun. And I love, like, I know I've taken pictures of the thing at Adepticon. Adepticon moved to Milwaukee. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it this year or not. We're going to try and drive up for the day and see what they do this year for their painting room. But George put me in touch with Hodge. Probably won't take my calls anymore, but I don't know. We'll see. We love Wonderfest. I feel like something's missing, and I wonder if we're alone. So in chat and comments,
here's the problem too, though. Okay, you don't start getting some younger people into this. All right, you look at the new AFM. There's 3 tributes in there? People that passed away?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just the ones we kind of know of. All right.
You got Nick and Norman's as a sponsor of the show. Greg Nicotero. Get Norman Reedus to show up. Get some of those the younger horror fans to come in. At least, and again, I am not advocating for turning it into an autograph show at all. Like, no. But there's something to be said when I go to Maskfest / Horror Hound, and that show has thousands of people, and it's not all just for the autographs. They're there for the movies, the celebrities, and the dealer's room. Start bringing in some of those horror dealers, the toy dealers. Everyone's like, well, it's a model show, but there just isn't enough model dealers anymore. Like, to make it.
Do you think if some dealers came in there that dealt gaming stuff, okay, and you and I went on our little hobby excursion, we were in Leisure Time Hobbies out there in Plainfield, and they had some cool figures and stuff, on the blister cards or boxed figures. And if someone was just there selling some of that stuff, just so our people could see it. Our people might see it and not give a crap what Warhammer is, but say, hey, that's a really cool dragon, or that's a real cool, whatever.
As much as I'd like to say yes, there was a guy a couple years ago that had nothing but Warhammer stuff. I don't think he sold really anything. He was just down from us a little bit. I think it was the year you weren't there.
Okay.
And I don't think he did very well because the crowd's just not there. There's no crossover. I don't know. If someone has suggestions, like we said, I'd love to hear them, but maybe we're just, maybe the weather's getting to us.
We're old and jaded.
We're old and jaded. Yeah. This is what year for you? What year for me?
29, I think, because I missed one.
So then this is 30 for me?
Or it might be 28 because of the one they canceled, too.
So then this is because I'm one ahead. So this is 29. So yeah, after doing this for 29 years. All right. I don't want to. So, and again, it's the only show. It is the best show. But there's ways to make it so cool. And I wish people would listen. That's all. I want to build and paint it room. That's it. That's open 24 hours a day. I'll even man the room late at night. If they need a guard or something, or someone watching it, I will gladly volunteer. And I don't know if it's a hotel thing, like you got to close, because that movie room goes late, right? I don't know. All right. Emails, voicemails, and corrections. So we got some emails and some new songs from Buford Bigfoot. And this is what he looks like. I took this from his Gmail icon. And you can tell it's pixelated just like a real Bigfoot photo. So it makes it hard to determine what this guy actually looks like. Greetings from the wilderness. I have no idea how it happened, but the MP3 file I sent you that you played on episode 108 was a rough track that was not edited properly. I knew something was wrong when you said it was almost 4 minutes long. I was like, uh-oh, what did I send you? The strange gibberish around 3/4 of the way through should not have been on there. Sometimes my huge fat hairy fingers have a difficult time working the computer mouse. Attached is what I should have sent you, and it is around 2 minutes long. So happy to hear that the song made your heart grow 3 sizes that day. Hearing that made my hairy mug smile. That being said, later on today, I will send you a track that the band put together in honor of your 110 episodes of Model Club TV. We hope you enjoy it. So we have a new version of the song, and that is now going to be the official gallery end of the show song. So we're always going to put that in there. So that will be there. All right. Next email. Congratulations are in order to both of you guys. Jason and Scott, man, a Bigfoot types really well and speaks pretty well, I have to say.
Big feet, little finger.
Yeah, all right. For soon making episode 110. So congratulations, in honor of that achievement, the boys in the Buford's Bigfoot band got together and did this song for you. We all hope y'all enjoy it. I have to say that in Bigfoot twang. All I can say is now you guys better not quit at episode 109 after we went through all this trouble, or else we may come and take dumps in your guys' yards while you are sleeping.
Everybody else does.
Yeah, everybody else does. Just to let everyone who may be concerned about our relatives residing in the Golden State, I'm happy to report that all of them are safe and well. I am not allowed to disclose just how that is possible, but I can say that, Jason, you were on the right path with something you said during the Bigfoot discussion on episode 108. That is all that I better say about it, or risk getting taken away by our masters to some slave planet somewhere. Anyways, congrats on your upcoming episode 110. You guys are great, and thank you for everything you do for the modeling community. Take care, and as always, Bigfoot's real, and you know that's right. Buford T. Bigfoot. So my question to you here is, Scott, do we play this song on this episode or wait till 110?
Wait till 110.
Okay. So we're going to hold that song till 110. We have 2 other emails from Buford. Bigfoot. So first up, let me go back to us because I have to pull this up. Let me get it ready. And we'll start. Scotty's number one Bigfoot buddy, Buford, here. The band has been very hard at work turning out even more songs for Model Club TV. Here is a favorite one about my true Bigfoot buddy, Scotty, and his basement hoard of resin model kits. Scott, from all the Sasquatches out in the wilderness, please, for the love of all that is good, start building some kits. Bigfoot's real, and you know it's right. Buford Bigfoot. So you ready, Scott, for your theme song here?
Go ahead.
Oh, and there's always, I don't know, when I play them off the slides, there's always like a hiccup right in the beginning. So that is not Buford's fault. Here we go.
Boxes stacked high, rising dust in the air. Scott's little kingdom, forgotten layers of care. Figures unbuilt, just waiting to be freed. Wondering if Scott's got the time he needs. How many kids are down there beneath the floor? Feels like 1,000, maybe even more. Is he collecting or just lost in his mind? Can't tell the difference when the count's undefined. How many kids are down there beneath the floor? Feels like 1,000, maybe even more. Is he collecting or just lost in his mind? Can't tell the difference when the count's undefined. Scott's basement blues, resin dreams on hold. So many promises left untold. Will he build them or let them drown in dust? Dreams of creation now turn to rust. Each box a story, so many left unsaid. Scott's hopes and plans gather in dread. Will he find the time? Can he break the spell? Or will his basement turn into his cell? Is it passion or is it just a hoard? Every figure waiting to be adored. Scott's lost count, lost sense of time. Resin mountain, an uphill climb. Friends and family wonder all the same. Is Scott's collection fortune or shame? Will he build them? When will he start? His basement's a mystery tangled in art.
Watch fun, we watch Tamade one with becoming legend dreams are affordable.
What the hell was that?
What was that? I don't even know. That's pretty damn good too. Wow.
I think it's AI. I'm telling you.
Wow, don't insult Buford there.
I don't care.
So don't insult
Hey.
the Buford.
Buford's not real. And maybe the songs aren't either.
Oh. All right. So I have another email. Well, seeing that the band did a song for Scott, it's only fair that we did a song for Jason as well. We turned the volume up to 11 on this one and had to steal some extra power from some campers' generators when they weren't looking to turn the amps up on this one. The band hopes that you enjoy it, and if not, oh well. BB. Buford Bigfoot Band owns all rights to attach music. Grants Model Club TV. Full use in its entirety. Here we go. This one is called What's in the Box?
Jason's got a secret locked tight. Mystery burns in the dead of night. Is it a resin dream, a plastic fright? Laughter echoes in the dim twilight. What's in the box? Nobody knows. Curiosity starts to overdose. Only Jason's eyes have seen the shows. We're all caught up in his sensation. Final whispers of plastic creations. Glue smells promise, sway ruination. What's in the box nobody knows. Curiosity starts to overdose. Only Jason's eyes have seen the shows. We're all caught up in his twisted prose. Model clubs buzzing, anticipation. Hands all trembling, wild fascination. Final whispers of plastic creations. Glue smells promise, sway ruination. Bang, Jason reveals the craze. Open the lid, break this maze. You're the keeper in this phase. Laughter's holding us in days. Crowds getting restless, breaking norms. Shattering ghosts in many forms. Questioning eyes in wild swarms. Jason smirks amidst the storms. What's in the box nobody knows. Curiosity starts to overdose. Only Jason's eyes have seen the shows. We're all caught up in his twisted prose. Hey Jason, reveal the craze. Open the lid, break this maze. You're the keeper in this phase. Laughter's holding us in days. Clouds getting restless, breaking norms. Shattering ghosts in many forms. Questioning eyes in wild swarms. Jason smirks amidst the storms.
Clouds getting restless, breaking norms. Shattering ghosts in many forms. Questioning eyes in wild swarm. Jason smirks amidst the storms.
Wow. Well, Buford, thank you. Those were awesome. I think I'm going to put that on the What's in the Box as the intro song.
There you go.
I think I'll do that. And we could use the Scott's Basement when we do What's in the Bin.
So,
What do you
as
think?
many of you know, I get a lot of Bigfoot items in the mail. Okay. In which case, I wish I would just get the cash, but you know. Although I do use my blanket back here. But so this next picture we have up is, I believe, one of the prime Bigfoot suspects.
Oh.
I'm just gonna leave that out there.
Let me put it up. Hold on, let me get it up. Here we go. There it is.
There
Look
it
at
is.
this. That is one hunky fella.
He is one hunk. I will say he's a hunk of something. Okay. So yep.
I don't know what the AI did to make this person look
more handsome than he is.
Yeah. It's, the extra handsome filter.
Clean. He looks cleaner. Usually he's all disheveled.
Yeah, and sweaty and yeah.
But yeah, he's a prime suspect.
That is a large belly button.
Well, it might be his mangina. I'm not sure. All right. We have
What's
this next piece you have.
First I'm gonna do this. When I got I put out a call for people to send stuff in, and over on our Facebook page we got this message from Jeremy Blakely. Reiterate that 3D sculptors need to start thinking about actually printing and painting the models they make. Sure, it looks cool on screen, but if it's impossible to print because tiny connections or impossible to paint because of parts cover other parts, that's a shit model. Frankly, I've quit supporting the Patreons of 3D sculptors because of this. I'll not be a patron of the art if the art is crap. Also, Patreon is the platform. The supporters are called patrons, not Patreons, as in our patrons of the arts. Not some weird ass new term like Patreon supporter thing. I couldn't agree more. I really think if you are, that you need to make sure someone's test printing and making sure that stuff actually works and fits together before you give it to someone. Also, make sure you have no floating pixel size pieces on your parts. I don't know how many times from this one individual Patreon that I was on, there would be a leg, and over here, there's one floating pixel that messes everything up, and you have to go and cut and delete and figure stuff out. Test print your stuff, please. And
Well,
make sure it works.
I'd like to go on to him too, and I've gone on about this a zillion times, but if you have a thin leg supporting a big, heavy figure, okay, it's gonna buckle if it's bent or something like that. Okay, it's look at the engineering of things. Even Weld did a Wile E. Coyote that was way out there, only
Yeah.
supported by his feet, and that resin's gonna over time sag, and there's really no way to get a rod into it unless you print it big.
Yeah.
And even then, hey, anybody that's worked with this stuff knows it doesn't drill and stuff as well as some other materials we use. So it's either sculpt it with a set size in there so someone could print it and put a rod in there. Now, a lot of times too, I print things where I'll print part of it solid just to support it and the rest of it hollow to take the weight off of it. But you can't always do that.
Right.
And it's going to cause trouble down the line. Okay. Yeah. And it's
I think more so that's just that. Yes, I think that is a huge issue. But even before that, make sure your parts fit.
Yes.
Make sure they fit. Make sure everything fits. And then make sure before you do it, think about your engineering. Is it going to sag? Is it going to, yeah, it's.
And you learned an important lesson recently when you split a piece and put a key in it.
I did.
One side's got to be a little bit bigger or smaller than the other.
Right. Your keys, there is I did not know this. So there's a program. We're going to have Jamie Sy come on, and we're still going to have him on. He's been doing some really, really cool things by taking your normal size models and using a program called Luban to cut them and key them to make them life size and print them out on filament printers. So I wanted to have him come on and share that with everybody and show what you can do with just a regular FDM printer and not necessarily a resin printer. But there's a program, and if you don't, I did not know this because it was my first time doing it. There's a setting to make the keys slightly smaller so that it actually fits. But I've had that happen where the key just does not fit. And I've had fake walls show up. So test print your stuff, please, people. It helps quite a bit. All right. Up next from Jeff Lamont. I have a picture for this one. We'll go from Bill over. Oh, wait. Did I say Bill? Oops. I've been bringing garage kits and prints to the IPMS meetings for years. By doing this, I've gotten a lot of interest in our side of the hobby. This monster was done by an armor diorama builder. Thought I'd share it with you. This is what can happen when we put our stuff in different areas of the hobby. Thanks, Jeff. Painted by Dr. John. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's a very good point. Don't be embarrassed. If you're going to an IPMS show, bring your kits, bring your monsters, bring all that stuff. Someone else might see it and you might inspire somebody to paint some of the stuff that we like to do. So yes, definitely. All right. Then I have this from Chuck Homolka. And do I have the email? Where's the email? There it is. From Chuck. Saw this at Five Below and thought, what a great way to get kids interested in miniature painting. Mythical Play World Paint and Create set at Five Below. And this thing was only like a couple bucks. It wasn't very expensive at all. And yeah, you get some junk paint and a couple junk paint brushes, but you get, I think, 3 or 4 miniatures and a little play diorama set. Give it to a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. Boom. You're painting miniatures. Who cares what they look like? You might set that spark off. I'm going to check our Five Below and see if they have them, and I might send them to people. So that's pretty cool.
What I want to say about that, years ago, I was dating this woman. I think maybe I've told this story before, but she bought one of these at one of the craft stores, haunted houses. It was like these polystone or whatever house with little figures. and a thing of paints like that and brushes.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything you need here to do this. Okay. And I'm looking at this big house and it was gray and it was dry brushed and shit. And it was like, how the fuck could that much paint? And I'm telling you, when I did it, it was just enough paint.
It did it right. It worked
to get it to work. And it was really the first time I really understood dry brushing too. You know, I mean, like I'd watched David's video, but it was the first time I did it actually. And it took me a couple weeks. I was working on this thing and she didn't care what I painted it. You know, she just wanted it painted. But I'm looking at the box the whole time going, I want this to look like the box. When I got done, it did. And I did it with everything they gave me. The shit brush, the shit paints, okay? Just to show that, yes, you could do it. So it was kind of cool. But
no, I think this is like little things like this go a long way to get kids interested in this stuff. So, all right, we have from our good buddy Logan Torres. Speaking of which, I did get a bunch of voicemails this episode, and I made an executive decision not to play them. They were all making fun of me. I didn't find them particularly funny. The Allison AI bit, it's kind of getting played. And the other ones were making fun of me putting the bear together on the live stream. I get it. It's boring, but it was more of just a test stream to try and get things working to see how it works live. There will be more painting on that stream, but it was to hang out with people and just chat. So that was the point. If you were bored, you could easily turn it off. That's okay. All right, from Logan. And we know how Logan's emails go, so let's buckle in. Why I can't stand the John Tucky entity. He does have a point. This has been a self-indulgent hobby from the beginning. And yes, Aurora was shoved, pushed of the youth. Logan.
On the youth.
Logan, you got it. Those little blue underlines when you type something mean it's like either bad grammar or misspelled. All right. There's red lines for misspelling, blue for grammar. And yes, Aurora was shoved, pushed on the youth. I'm going to try and fix this as we go of that era. Don't deny it. There was a heavy saturation of Universal monsters and other monster related stuff. I witnessed it and toy shows in the late 80s. You want how much for this? Was marked 25 cents. The seller wanted $50. I was like, okay, toy shop owned. No ends. What people do to reclaim the fictionalized childhood brought to you by TV. Nostalgia framed this hobby for years. Nostalgia is a drug if taken orally or suppository. This hobby is on its last legs. One show a year. Producers making the same monster stuff since the 90s. What did the hobby gain being stuck in a cruise control set on Universal Monster Hammer? Now, most who funded this hobby are dead or retired from it. It's not really worth the effort. When most passed away from the hobby, producers won't go past the Universal Monster Code. We are not gaining new modelers in this hobby. My Generation X, there's only a handful of us, not into the same old boomer idols. Yes, reap what you sow. I agree with some of that, but I would also say...
I think I touched on some of that when we were
did.
talking.
I think we did. And I would disagree that there are hundreds upon hundreds of Gen Xers painting miniatures and busts and figures on the gaming side of things that our side of the hobby never sees. And I mean hundreds of people doing. So we're just in the wrong place. Our side's dying, another side's growing, I think. All right. And we have a pretty good email. I think it answers a pretty good question. This is from Rick McCone. Hello, guys. Not sure who reads emails first. I do. What is the resolution?
I don't even see them. Just so everyone knows, I don't have access to emails unless he sends them to me.
I forward the ones for Scott. I do. What is the resolution that you need for gallery photos and where do I upload them? By the way, the new theme song works perfect. Okay. So this is a great question. I probably should have said this many, many episodes ago. If you would like your photograph to fill, when you send in pictures for the gallery, if you would like your photograph to fill the whole screen, the resolution should be 1920 by 1080 or 16 by 9. So on your camera, 1920 by 1080 would fit it perfectly, or 16 by 9 as the aspect ratio. So if you're doing the 4:3 or the 5:6, it's not going to fill the screen. And if you turn your camera vertical to take your picture, it is not going to fill the screen. You'll get that nice sliver of a picture in the center. So, and I'm not complaining, like they still work, but if you would like a nice big giant picture in the gallery, 19:20 by 1080, 16:9. That's the way to do it. For a model in a movie, I would like to suggest Bone Tomahawk. Brian and I talked about that email already over there, but Scott, I would highly suggest watching Bone Tomahawk if you get a chance.
Hey.
That's the show, everybody.
Oh.
This was kind of a haphazard one. We know when we suck, and this is one of those episodes.
We can't knock them all out of the
Can't
park.
knock them all out of the park, that's for sure. Even Babe Ruth strikes out once in a while.
We got the doldrums too.
Yeah,
You know.
we're just kind of, How do we make
Well,
this?
here's a
Let's end on a
question.
good note. Let's end on a good.
Let's pose this question, though, to our viewers that suffered through this episode. Okay. Would you rather us put out shit like this? Or would you rather us go to once a month and where we have more content and more, be interesting to see?
I'd love to hear it.
Or maybe we should do one show like this and one live show.
It is getting
It's getting harder to find subjects to talk about.
it is getting harder to get guests,
Yes.
and I have a John Dennett. If you watch anytime, there's a couple other people I'm still going to be reaching out to, but there are some guests that we've tried to get on. Terry, we've been trying to get on. We're trying to get on a couple other people, and it just never works out. So I don't know. So we'll see. Scott, I love you.
No, you don't.
Say goodbye, Scott.
Goodbye, Scott.
Jason's got the wires hooked real tight, fiddling with the circuits till it's just right. Paintbrush flying like a bird in flight. Model Club TV's on every night. Scott's got the knowledge of 1,000 kits, sitting in the garage where the passion hits. Figures and dioramas amidst the grit. Model Club TV, where it all fits. Model Club TV, they make it shine. Jason on the board, Scott with the mind. Model Club TV, it's one of a kind. Tune in, watch them both unwind. Jason's fingers painting tales to keep. Robots and soldiers from the deep. Broadcast waves that never sleep. Model Club TV for the won't-be sheep. Scott's wisdom stretches wide and tall. From monsters to heroes, he's seen it all. Oh, oh, oh. Chasing dreams in color, see him. Oh, oh, oh. Model Club TV, they make it shine. Jason on the board, Scott with the mind. Model Club TV, it's one of a kind. Tune in, watch them both unwind. Jason's got the wires hooked real tight, fiddling with the circuits till it's just right. Paintbrush flying like a bird in flight. Model Club TV's on every night. Scott's got the knowledge of 1,000 kits, sitting in the garage where the passion hits. Figures and dioramas amidst the grit. Model Club TV, where it all fits. Model Club TV, they make it shine. Jason on the board, Scott with the mind. Model Club TV, it's one of a kind. Tune in, watch them both unwind. Jason on the board, Scott with the mind. Model Club TV, it's one of a kind. Tune in, watch them both unwind. Jason's got the wires hooked real tight, fiddling with the circuits till it's just right. Paintbrush flying like a bird in flight. Model Club TV's on every night. Scott's got the knowledge of 1,000 kits, sitting in the garage where the passion hits. Figures and dioramas amidst the grit. Model Club TV, where it all fits. Model Club TV, they make it shine. Jason on the board, Scott with the mind. Model Club TV, it's one of a kind. Tune in, watch them both unwind. Jason's fingers painting tales to keep, robots and soldiers from the deep, broadcast waves that never sleep. Model Club TV for the won't-be sheep. Scott's wisdom stretches wide and tall. From monsters to heroes, he's seen it all. Oh, oh, oh. Chasing dreams and colors, see 'em. Oh, oh, oh. Model Club TV, they make it shine. Jason on the board, Scott with the mind. Model Club TV, it's one of a kind. Tune in, watch them both unwind. Jason's got the wires hooked real tight, fiddling with the circuits till it's just right. Paintbrush flying like a bird in flight. Model Club TV's on every night. Scott's got the knowledge of 1,000 kits, sitting in the garage where the passion hits. Figures and dioramas amidst the grit. Model Club TV,